What's going on, everybody? Jerry here with 3DHP, and I've got a truck issue. This is my 2001 Chevy Silverado 4x. It's my daily driver, and I have a problem. For a few weeks now, I've had an error code PO300, and let me tell you a little story about what I've done and what I did to solve it, and this might help a lot of you out that are having the same error. Well, about a month ago, I came out to start up the truck, and I had a dead battery. Really odd. The battery, yeah, it's about 4 years old, but usually it's fine. Don't know if I might have left the key on or what happened, so I threw it on a charger. I let it at 12 amps, and I let it charge up all day, all night, went up the next day, deader than a doornail. So I pulled out the battery, threw it in my wife's car, the Mercedes there, took it down to AutoZone, and they charged it for like 3 or 4 hours. Then I had them load test it, and they go, yeah, your battery's fine. Now, I know, living here in Las Vegas, nothing lasts more than 5 years, especially car batteries. So it's at end of life. So I went ahead and put it back in the truck. And then my brother called me from the hospital, and I gave him a ride out to Pahrump, Nevada. And going up the mountain, my service engine light came on, not my check light, and my truck was loading up really bad. It sounded like a vacuum leak, or I was pulling a house behind the truck, like a really heavy trailer. It just didn't want to go. I floored it, it just didn't want to go. Service engine light was blinking. So I backed off, I babied it, I got it up the mountain, got him home in Pahrump, came back home, and once again I had to baby it to get it up the mountain. Service engine light was coming on, give it throttle, it felt like it was sucking air, didn't want to go. Got home, broke out the little scanner there, hooked it up, and I had a PO300, random misfire. And I've watched every possible video on YouTube. I've done Google searches. Random misfire could be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be your spark plug, your wires, or your coils. My coils, my wires, and my plugs were new 4 years ago. So first thing I did is I pulled out all the plugs one at a time. I'll show you here in a minute. And I got them all cleaned up, put back in. That didn't solve it. It seemed like I was getting fire. Everything was firing. It just wasn't right. It had the same error. And then I said, you know what? Since that battery's just about end of life, let's go ahead and replace the battery. So, because I did Google, and one thing said, yeah, if you have a faulty battery or a weak battery, it could throw a PO300. Fine, we replaced the battery. And then what was next? Okay, I replaced the air cleaner. It was fine. I done a smoke test. A homemade smoke test with a couple cigars and a pump from Harbor Freight. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll see the video. It works great. Had no vacuum leaks. Couldn't find a vacuum leak. Everything was good. Replaced the mass airflow sensor. I think that's what that's called. If it's not, I'll put it on the screen. And yeah, that was expensive. But I cleaned the old one. It didn't help, so I figured, okay, fine. This air could be anything. Let's replace it. So I replaced it. And then the throttle body. Cleaned it open. The butterfly there, I held it open with a little clamp, and I cleaned it out really good with some carb cleaner and got it cleaned out really good. Put that back together. This top sensor here, I'll have to put the name on the screen. I can't remember what it's called. It was built up with carbon really bad on the plunger. The plunger worked fine. I cleaned that out really good, put it back on. This is, I believe, a map sensor down here, and I took that off. In order to get that off, I had to take off the alternator. Take off the belt, remove the alternator, be able to get to the screws, replace that. That didn't help. And then a fuel pressure regulator, right over there. You got that hose attached to it. Replace that. Now, the dealer wanted like 50 bucks for the hose. Nobody around town had the hose. Amazon had it, of course. And fuel pressure, so I got the hose and fuel pressure regulator off Amazon for like 25, 30 bucks. So I replaced that. Then when I removed it on the top side there, it cracked. It cracked where it was coming off, and right in the elbow it cracked. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I had an exhaust leak there, or maybe it cracked when I removed it. So I went in and replaced it. That didn't help. And onward, what else did I do? I don't know, I just done so darn many things here, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, then I finally replaced spark plugs. I went to Napa Auto Parts, got some better plugs and put in it. Just thinking maybe randomly something's wrong with the plugs. Here, I'll show you the other ones real quick. Okay, here's the plugs that I had in it. But I cleaned them and put them back in it. They're iridium or whatever you call it. Those are the plugs I had in it. But took them out, replaced them with these other AC Delcos from Napa. And here's one of my oxygen sensors here that's stripped. See the threads there boogered up? We'll talk about that in just a second. But this was a good sensor until the threads got boogered up. So nothing seems to be working. Driving me bananas. I've got to register this truck in a couple weeks, and it's, you know, it's not going to pass smog like this. And anyway, whenever you disconnect the battery or dead battery, or you reset it with your scanner, you got to drive the car or vehicle, truck, whatever, like 100 miles before you can go to a smog station. So we got to get that done. So then I figured, you know what? It might be, but I don't think it's a head gasket, an intake gasket. It could be, but I don't think so. Smoke test didn't show anything. But I never got an error talking about the catalytic converters. There was no error whatsoever give me any sign that there's something wrong with the catalytic converters. But let's do a back pressure test. Once again, I got on Amazon. Exhaust back pressure tester. It's like 30, 35 bucks. I'll put a link down below on the one I bought, but it doesn't really matter. Any of them would probably work good. And this is what the tester looks like. You unscrew one of your oxygen sensors. You screw this into the port. I done the upper left before the cat. Screwed that in. Plug your hose into it right here. Laid that on the ground outside of the truck where I could see it. And I started the truck up to let it idle. And they say when you use these, let it idle, it should be in the green. Once you rev it up to 2,500 RPM, it should stay in the green. If it goes to the red, it's definitely bad. And if it goes in the yellow, it's going bad. Okay, fine. I hooked it up. I started the truck. I looked at the gauge. It's pegged in the red. It's just beaten the red to death. It's pegged in the red. Definitely got a clogged catalytic converter on the left side. No reason to check the right. If one's bad, you replace both of them. So, yeah, that was definitely the problem. This is a test I should have done from the get-go. But one thing I forgot to say, right before I done this test, I took out the upper left catalytic converter, driver's side, the two lower on left and right. And let's see, the upper right was stuck, so I just let all three of them hang. And I drove the truck. Drove it down the street, around the corner, up this other high street, and I floored it. This truck was moving. Of course, it was loud, like open headers, but it was moving. It was hauling ass. So that, and then I thought, okay, wow, that sounds like a catalytic converter. Now it's fine. Let's check in case, make sure it's not a muffler. So I put the three oxygen sensors back in, and then I unbolted the muffler under the truck. I'll show you that in just a minute. I got that all unbolted, and with the converters in, I started it up. Once again, it was loading up. When it idles, when you first start it, it's kind of hard to hear if it's missing or not. The exhaust pressure, when you put your hand over the exhaust pipe, is really low. I can barely feel any exhaust pressure unless I'm revving up the truck. So I figured, okay, let's test the muffler. I disconnected it. It had about a 2-inch gap between the front pipes where the caps are welded to, and then the back exhaust under the cab. Drove it, didn't do any good. It's still bogging up and clogging up. So that's when I went and ordered that tester, and I tested the vacuum. I realized the catalytic converters were bad. Got on Amazon, I read all the reviews, some good, some bad on different ones. There's so many to choose from. I picked some that were between $200 and $300. Reviews were good on it. I'll take my chances. Once they came in the mail, here we'll cut away and I'll show you some pictures right here. These are really well constructed. They look really nice. Hopefully, I think it's called a bung or a bing, where it's got the holes welded into it, the threads. You screw in your oxygen sensors. Hopefully, they're all in the right position. There's one on the right rear that on some people have complained on different systems that they've ordered. I don't remember if it was this one or not, that it was too close to the frame rail and they couldn't get the oxygen sensor screwed in. I'm currently waiting on that sensor to come in the mail as we speak, and I will know today, before this video is over, if it's screwed in fine and if the truck is driving. You'll see that here in a little bit. But these exhausts here, they look really nice. Hopefully they got some good cats on them. Well, here's the old set. Here is the old set right here when I got them taken off. This will be the driver's side. And when you bang it on the ground, here's all the debris that's coming out of it. There was a lot more, but that's some of it. Because I had this out in front of the garage the other day, moved them in the garage. When I went to tape this video, I set them back here. I banged it on the ground to get some more of that debris out so I can show you. So this side here is definitely plugged up. And the reason that you've seen the oxygen sensor in the garage, this one is stripped. The front right is really hard to get to try to get that in, to get it going in straight. And it was stripped. I cleaned up the threads with the wire brush best that I could. Then I tried to re-screw in that used one back into this side that was never stripped, because it came off this side, to see if it would go in. It wouldn't go in properly, so I had to spend $55 on Amazon and order a new oxygen sensor. But here's where it bolts up to your muffler right here. So when you buy the new pipes, as you see in the picture, they're cut in about the middle, and one pipe slips inside the other. When you put this new system on, it's best if the front right oxygen sensor, the upper, have that screwed in advance. It's really hard to get to and get a wrench in there, an open-end wrench to tighten them up. This side's not a big deal. So I had the truck jacked up a few inches with a floor jack to get the tires off the ground a few inches. I put floor jacks underneath the front of it, got to work this morning, got the other exhaust off, and let me crawl underneath it and show you what we got. Okay, laying down on the ground, you see the pipes right there, and right there, I'm not sure if you can see it, is where it bolts up to the other exhaust, going back to the muffler. Right there where that bracket is where it splits. One piece from the passenger side slips into the driver's side. There's one of the new catalytic converters. And let's see if you can see this side over here. There's the other catalytic converter. So I've got the upper and lower on the driver's side installed, ready to go. The passenger side, the upper is installed, and I'm waiting on the lower, which is, let me see if I can turn around here and show it to you. Don't think you can see it where my hand is, but the lower one goes in back here. As long as I have enough room between there and the frame, I'll know when I get it and try it. And then here's where it bolts up at, right there. But when I was driving it, I just unbolted those two bolts right there. They came out real easy, and I was able to separate it to test drive it. Well, at the summarize, it's running, it's fixed. This is amazing. I gotta move. I gotta back up. Sun to my eyes. It's fixed. I'm amazed. I've been, like I said, I've put so much money, so much time and effort trying to replace everything for a P0300 error. Random misfire. I replaced everything it could possibly be. And like I said, once I got done, I Googled what else can cause it. Can a catalytic converter cause it? But everybody said if your cat's plugged up, your vehicle won't run. It won't go anywhere. Well, there's two cats on this truck. So evidently one side was plugged up, the other side, I don't know, I didn't test it. But if it kind of ran, but then when I went to accelerate and get on it, it felt like it was sucking air. Like I was pulling a house behind me, a huge trailer, bogging down really bad. So I highly recommend check your vacuum on your catalytic converters. Buy one of those test kits, like 30 bucks. Show you another picture right here. So P0300, before you run to a shop, before you let a shop throw a lot of money at it, check the vacuum. That was it. That was a problem. Replaced my cats, done it myself. No big deal. I hate going to shops. I hate throwing money at things. But with the new vehicles nowadays, you never know. Everything's electronic. They're not like the older vehicles where we all, especially myself, could work on everything. Now when you get a lot of electronics, you got to randomly throw money at certain things. And, you know, it sucks. That's how it is. I hope this video helps somebody out. It's not just about this truck. It's about any vehicle that might have a P0300 code. Check your cats. That might be your problem. Very simple check. Takes 2 seconds. Get it in the mail. Check it. So, anyway, please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, everybody have an awesome day. Later now.